Hello, Steve Fletcher here, and welcome to Vinyl Corner. This is Vinyl Corner number... pauses the video and checks what vinyl number we're on. Right, I've got it now. This is Vinyl Corner number 12, and I must start with an apology, because, I know that these Vinyl Corners aren't, viewed by, a heaving throng of masses of people. They are a bit of a niche viewy thing, but I do need to start with an apology because I've been really off my game with Vinyl Corners, with all my YouTube videos really. The tail end of 2023 going into 2024 has been a bit of a maelstrom of chaos outside of my YouTubing life. Things have got a little bit manic, and I've had to sort of put a few things on the back burner, and YouTubing was one of them. But anyway, here I am, I'm back. So I'm going to do a combined, very late, because it's the 19th of February today, a combined Vinyl Corner for December and January. December 2023 and January 2024. And because it's the 12th Vinyl Corner that I've done, we're going to do a little bit of a retrospective look back at my favourite releases. No, that's wrong. My favourite purchases that I've made over the previous 12 months. I'm not going to try and bore you too much, but just going to go into a few of my favourites. You can go back and look at all of the Vinyl Corners. They're all on the Vinyl Corner playlist if you want to. But I'm just going to go through a few of my favourites. But first, let's get December out of the way. January has been a very dead vinyl buying month, like I said, because of all the stuff that's been going on outside of my YouTubing life. So let's do December. What arrived in December, I'm very, very pleased to say, was this box set. Now, anybody who knows me in the real world knows that I am a sucker for a box set. And this is what I got. This is Porcupine Tree. They did a sort of surprise reunion. They'd had about 10, 12 years of radio silence from everything, really. Releasing new music, recording, gigging, blah, blah, blah. And they came out in 2022, I think, with this. This is the Closure Continuation record, and again, I couldn't resist but buy it on the 3-disc vinyl box. I went to see Porcupine Tree in November 2022 at Wembley Arena, and I went to see them again at Castlefield Bowl in Manchester in June of last year, 2023. Absolutely brilliant. I heartily recommend anybody who has any interest in guitar music, modern music, progressive music with a sort of small p, to check out Porcupine Tree. This album, the Closure Continuation album, it's kind of, it's not one of their greatest hits. It's kind of, it's up there, but it doesn't really, I'm glad it exists because it got Porcupine Tree back onto the live stage. It got me seeing them, which is something I never thought I'd do. Got me seeing Stephen Wilson, who is the lead singer, guitarist from Porcupine Tree. But I never thought I would see them. So it got me that far that I've been able to see Porcupine Tree twice now. However, it doesn't really deliver very much in terms of breaking new ground, new direction for the band. It's a very safe album. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's worth buying for Rat's Return alone. But yeah, anyway, there you go. But I'm glad it exists. But if you're wanting to look at their best, you need to go for Fear of a Blank Planet, The Incident, In Absentia. Basically, everything from In Absentia onwards you need. But anyway, they wrapped up that tour and they have given us this. This is the Closure Continuation live vinyl box set. It's a 4-disc vinyl set covering the entire album, the entire live set. I think the main reason it's a 4-disc set is simply because the 20-minute song Anesthetize would only fit on one disc alone anyway. But there you go. It's a lovely, well put together box set. I'm really pleased with this. You've got the main. See, in fact, let me show you from the start. So there's the box, lovely big box. So that gives enough protection as it is. So you've got, 4 records. Then they all come out separately. Each individual record has then got another sleeve. So this is A. And inside each one of those is yet another sleeve with the record in. So they're really well put together. And here, oh my God. Hello, everyone. Is that not an insanely sexy record? That's the first record. Are they all? I think they're all clear vinyl. So there you go. There's C. Yeah, so they're all clear. C and D. Really well put together. It's a great show. And I know it's Vinyl Corner, but I'm going to start this year. I'm going to carry on branching out a little bit this year into sort of, a few other odds and sods as well. But I did also buy it on get it on Blu-ray, DVD as well. So that's what I bought for December 2023. I wasn't planning, let me talk and pack away. I wasn't planning on buying anything in January, simply because I knew that the January Vinyl Corner was going to be the anniversary of the Vinyl Corner starting. So I thought I'm going to do a sort of a greatest hits, if you will, in January. Save myself a bit of money because it's not a cheap hobby collecting vinyl, especially if you buy new vinyl. But I don't have many other vices. I don't smoke. I don't drink, not very much anyway. I don't buy expensive coffees. So yes, I'm going to do a greatest hits of the month and then sort of unveil my, I suppose the album that's had the most spins over the last 12 months, and it might surprise you actually. So here we go. Let's get started with my January 2024 greatest hits of the last year Vinyl Corner thing. I do need to work on these titles. So way back in January 2023, I did go a bit nuts actually in January 2023. I seem to recall I did a lot. I didn't buy many brand new ones. I did buy a lot of vintage. When I say vintage, I mean, albums that were released in the sort of pre-mid 90s. So what I mean by that is when vinyl was actually a thing. Around about the middle of the 90s, vinyl stopped. And then it became a new thing, in the mid 2010s, we got this massive vinyl resurgence, which I'm so happy about. But yeah, vintage vinyl. But speaking of Stephen Wilson from Porcupine Tree, Stephen Wilson also has, I don't know how he finds the time to do this stuff, but he also has a side venture where he does some remixes of bygone albums, and he does some amazing work with those. And this was my favorite one that I bought in January of 2023. This is Marillion and Brave. This is the Stephen Wilson remix of that great album. Marillion are an odd band to me. I stumbled on Marillion almost completely by accident. I mean, obviously I knew they existed, but it was a really weird thing with Marillion, whereas I got into them. Amazon sent me a "we think you might like this" email, which they do all the time, and usually it's like, okay, thanks, delete. And what it was ta-da, this Blu-ray here, in fact. And it was something ridiculous, like $6.99 or $6.49 or $6.75 or something like that. And I was like, that's ridiculous. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy that. I mean, I love Blu-ray. I love Blu-rays, high quality Blu-rays, 4Ks and stuff, almost as much as I love vinyls. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy that. So I did, watched it, listened to it, streamed it, and I'm absolutely blown away with how good this is. They do the first half, they do their brand new album, Living in Fear, and the second half they did, what you would consider to be greatest hits. So I started to look back through their back catalogue, and the Brave album ranks highly among fans as the one you want to get. So I've been listening to that, and it's great. It's a brilliant album. It's a concept album about a runaway child. I'm not going to go into it too much, but this is my favourite album for January 2023. My favourite for February 2023 is this. This is Colin Hay, Man at Work. Colin Hay is another one where I was given a recommendation. This time on YouTube, we thought you might like this video. And it was Colin Hay, who is the ex-lead singer, guitarist, songwriter from the Australian band Men at Work. You'll know them from the song Down Under that they did. And it was Colin Hay performing the song Down Under acoustically at, what's the name of the guitars? Santa Cruz Guitars, like, anniversary party or something. But before he did the song, it was a great rendition of the song, actually. But before he did the song, he was just talking. He was just, talking to the audience, giving. And I love that when an artist tells some stories. I don't generally like it when an artist comes on stage and goes, "Hello, this is a song called this. This is a song called that. This is a song called, whatever it is." Very luckily, I then went to see Colin Hay, but I bought this. And so this has been my favourite. If you need to get into Colin Hay, you do need him around. He's brilliant. In particular songs like Waiting for My Real Life to Begin and I Just Don't Think I'll Get Over You. Absolutely brilliant. And this has got also some acoustic renditions of his Men at Work stuff as well. Love this album. So March 2023, there's only one really, so it's kind of my winner by default. It was March 2023 was the 50th birthday of One Dark Side of the Moon. And so I had no choice whatsoever. But I had to buy the 50th anniversary box set of Dark Side of the Moon. I'm not going to go on too much of a thing about that. I would advise you, if you want to watch the dedicated Vinyl Corner video for that. I go into it a lot more detail. But March, in fact, it was March and April because it was a bit of an expensive purchase. So March and April from last year can only be this. In May of 2023, I bought this amongst other things. It's Queen live, as you can see. It's Queen live at Wembley 86. I was both sort of disappointed and really impressed with this because when I looked into it on Discogs, I discovered that this is actually an unofficial, not official pressing of Queen live at Wembley. But the thing that I was then like, whoa, really? Because it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that. It is a really, really good looking vinyl. And it is one of my all-time favourite live albums of all time. I mean, I do have a real soft spot for Queen. Freddie, bless his heart. So I was really surprised. So I've wanted this on vinyl for a long time. So when I saw it, I just snapped it up. It's got such a lot of stuff with it. So as well as being one of my favourite all-time as being one of my favourite all-time live albums, it's my favourite one that I bought in May. And it's Queen live at Wembley 86. In June, in May, when at the same time that I bought Live at Wembley by Queen, I bought David Gilmour on an Island. And then I waited until June. I didn't buy this. I stole it from the old man. Just because he's doesn't really spend much time sitting listening to the vinyls. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to, now that I've got my David Gilmour on an Island vinyl thing, which I've yet to open because it is actually one of the first pressings that I managed to find. I thought I'm going to also sneakily steal Rattle That Lock from the old man as a little bit of a matching set. June 2024 was Rattle That Lock month. Okay, so looking back at my list, I noticed that July and August were done as one thing together. I'm not quite sure why that was, because I can't remember, quite frankly. What I thought I would do, though, is I'd show you my because July and August is a twofer, I thought I would show you two for this one, basically. I've got one which I had been wanting to buy since the cows came, not since the cows came home, but since the cows were born and milked for the first time and gone into the barn and gone out and then come home again. That's how long I've been wanting to buy this particular box set, and one which was such a ridiculous bargain I couldn't help but buy it. So we'll start with that, and it's this. This was the Peter Green celebration concert that Mick Fleetwood did with a gang of extras. I wasn't massively impressed with this. I have since warmed to it a little bit more, and I'm glad I've got it. Listened to it a couple of times now. But the reason I bought this box set, A, because I'm a sucker for a box set, and B, it was so ridiculously reduced in price on the official website that I was like, well, I will be stupid to not buy that. So that was why I bought this. And the one that I've wanted forever, and I'm so happy I've got it, is Pulse by Pink Floyd. Anyone who knows me knows that I am Pink Floyd's biggest geek. I love them. I adore them. I go through big phases where I seemingly cannot live without them. And I had to buy Pulse. It's the concert series, the tour, the Division Bell tour that got me into Pink Floyd. I have a huge amount of soft spots for this album. I absolutely love it, and I'm so glad. It's quite possibly one of my happiest additions to my vinyl collection. Now, September I'm kind of going to gloss over, because all I did really in September, after the madness of purchases for July and August, I kind of just went through a few charity shops and bought loads of singles and stuff. So I'm kind of going to give you, if you'll forgive me, and I've probably waffled enough, a little bit of a pass on September, because I just bought loads of, 7-inch singles. So October, this was a real surprise, really. This is vintage, this is old, I got it from a charity shop, and it's Brian Ferry, Boys and Girls. And I put it on like straight away as soon as I got home. I've heard about it because there's a lot of guitarists that I'm in love with. Mark Knopfler's on this, David Gilmour's on this. So there's a lot of people on this. And I thought, I'm just going to have to buy that. It was like £5, £6 in the charity shop. And it's great. I mean, it is like the 80s have just like thrown up on this. It's got the biggest 80s production I've ever heard from an album. But I hugely enjoyed it. So this was my pick of greatest hit for October. Which brings us to November. I'm not going to do December because I just did it. But bringing us to November was, again, just one purchase in November because it was an expensive one. And it was this, the Dire Straits Live Era box set. I'm really hoping that we're going to get a box set of DVD Blu-rays to go with this. And I'm hoping we're going to get... because it's next year, 2025, it's the 40th birthday of Brothers in Arms. So I'm, again, hoping we're going to get some sort of a box set for that, because the Brothers in Arms era is curiously missing from this. And they've been slowly uploading on their Facebook pages and social medias, they've been slowly uploading a few videos from the Wembley 85 gig, restored and remastered and looking very, very nice. So I'm hoping that's what we're aiming towards. I love this. I'm so pleased that they've done it properly-ish. Alchemy has been restored to its full length, which is fantastic. It's been I've been crying out for Alchemy to be released and restored to the full concert for years. On the Night, again, I love that concert. It's a bit more of a letdown because they've not quite given it to us. They've given it to us extended with more songs, but it's not quite a true representation of the full show. But again, watch the dedicated Vinyl Corner number 11 for this, and you'll go through that. So there you go, boys and girls. So what am I going to announce? Dun, da, da, da. I can't really say that it's my favourite, but it's definitely the album that I have spun the most. And it's this. It's Colin Hay, Man at Work. It's just the one that I put on when I want something that I love in the background. When I'm just pottering about the house, I put this on. He's my hero, Colin Hay, really. I mean, I'm the wrong side of 40, I have to be honest. And I have recently, over the last sort of 18 months or so, been doing some solo acoustic shows. I'm plugging myself here. I don't care. I'm not even sorry. Under the name of The Breaded Churchman. And it's one of those things, you're like, is it too late? Past 40, bit of ageism in society. But Colin Hay was in Men at Work, quite possibly one of the most successful bands of the early 80s. They were huge. And they split up. And he went from huge to nothing. Almost overnight. He did, and so he was doing solo shows where literally no one was turning up. One or two people at most. and the bar staff were turning up. So he has crawled his way back from relative obscurity to now playing in some very nice couple of 1,000-seat theatres, which is where we saw him. So he's kind of my hero in that regard, this sort of idea of you just keep doing the thing you love, you know, and if you love it and you're lucky and you work hard, people might join in on your journey. So that's what I'm hoping for with the Breaded Churchman anyway. So this has been my, you know, go-to background love album for the last 12 months. Obviously, the ones that I've shown you over this video are all absolute favourites. The Pink Floyd Pulse one in particular, I'm probably the most happy that I've got that in my collection finally. So thank you for watching. I apologise one more time that it's been a bit of a gap between Vinyl Corners, but hopefully now normal service shall be resumed. I thank you and good night.